Right, so for the past few days, I have been away and haven't really been checking social media. So when I got back, I was wondering, like, what's going to be the topic for the next video, right? I don't even know what's been happening for the past, like, let's say 4 days. And as I'm scrolling down my For You page, the videos that keep popping up an overwhelming amount is to do with this situation we're talking about today. Now, granted, it might be my fault because this is becoming a bit of a running joke on this channel, right? We have some more wedding drama, so that probably is the reason it was the thing that kept popping up the most, because I've just spoke about a lot of wedding drama. But yeah, either way, I'm back now, so we're back on the daily uploads, right? So we might need to catch up on a few things that have happened over the past few days, or there might be new stuff that's coming out over the next couple of days. Either way, let's get into today's topic. So there's two main people you need to be aware of in this situation, or actually there's one main person and then one company you need to be aware of. The person you need to be aware of is this TikToker right here called Nessa Martinez with about 25,000 followers. The company you need to be aware of is David's Bridal. Their TikTok account has 70,000 followers. As you can probably tell by the name, or you might just be aware in general, this is a bridal, like, wedding dress company. Now, I personally hadn't heard of this company before. I mean, actually looking at the website, it turns out they have one UK store. But in the US, as we can see right here, they have many different stores across the United States. They also have quite a few stores across Canada, as we can see right here. So this is a big company, right? This is a company that you really wouldn't expect a situation like this to involve, but apparently it does. And this all began when Nessa started posting a series of videos talking about a situation where David's Bridal actually lost her wedding dress.
So I recorded this video earlier because I wasn't too sure if I should post about this or not. But now I'm definitely for sure gonna post about it because I'm just floored right now. Long story short, David's Bridal lost my dress. Nobody knows where it's at. And the more fucked up part about it is, at first I thought they blocked my number. Now that I'm trying to call back and get an update 3 hours later, but I think they just turned their phone system off, so now they're not able to get any phone calls.
Yeah, so we've spoke about a worrying amount of situations like this, right? Where, like, future brides are coming to TikTok and talking about the fact that a company has lost their wedding dress, or it's been delayed, or it wasn't made correctly. Just a lot of stuff to do with wedding dresses. And it's obviously something that is ridiculously important to the majority of brides, right? I can imagine the amount of stress that a situation like this can cause is probably pretty fucking high. But this one in particular is a bit more bizarre, right? Because the reason why this wedding dress gets lost just seems like something that shouldn't really happen. And it's also another example of a situation where you think, if this didn't go as viral as it did, would this situation have been, like, resolved in the right way? Who knows? But either way, let's add more context to the situation, because Nessa goes on to talk about how she ordered this dress from this store. She was waiting for it. They had a date to when she's supposed to get the dress. It ended up getting delayed. It's going past this date, and she just can't get a hold of this dress.
I speak to this girl, Megan, and she's like, yeah, I'm the one that, like, deals with all of that. Let me see if we've got it, like, whatever. So she looks up my thing with my name and everything, my phone number, and she's like, well, it's not here yet. UPS has been running slow the past couple of days, but it looks like it should be here about Monday. And I was like, okay, great.
Yeah, so Megan, who Nessa is talking about here, obviously works at David's Bridal, or used to work. I guess that's a bit of a spoiler for later on in the situation. But Megan kind of becomes like a main part of the story. In fact, as the situation is currently unfolding right now, the main part that people are talking about is Megan, and that'll make more sense later. Now, as the video goes on, Nessa carries on explaining that, like, more days are going by, she's not hearing anything back, more and more days are going by, so she decides to ring the store, and she's told, oh, great news, the dress is finally here.
So I call them, I speak to Megan again, and she's like, let me put you on hold, I'll be right with you, because she was with a customer. She comes back in on the phone 5 minutes later. She's like, oh yeah, she's like, this is Vanessa, right? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, well, it looks like your dress got here yesterday. And I was like, oh, great.
So yeah, at this point in the story, you think, okay, why are you making a video about this, right? It sounds like it was solved pretty quickly. She waited a few more days, got a wedding dress, problem solved. But it's not as simple as that, because Nessa tries to, like, plan a pickup date to try and pick up the dress, right? This store's like 2 hours away, she goes on to explain. But then all of a sudden, Megan asks her, like, oh, haven't you already picked up the dress?
So I was like, is it okay if I go and pick it up then? I don't live there. I live an hour and a half to 2 hours away. Like, is it okay if I pick it up first thing on Saturday? Because I'm planning on going to Albuquerque specifically to pick this up on Saturday since it's already in. She's like, yeah, but wait, you already picked it up. And I was like, no, I didn't. Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, and then I don't know if she's, like, thinking out loud or what, but it's like she's reading something. So my assumption is she's reading notes on the account that my dress is under and that I'm under, whatever. And she's like, oh, well, it looks like the new girl might have checked this out to another Vanessa. So another Vanessa picked up your dress.
Yes, you remember earlier when I was saying, like, this situation's bizarre because I don't really understand how this could happen? This is what I'm talking about, right? Because there's a number of things here, right? Already giving the dress to a different Vanessa just seems, like, wild to me. I'm sure it's not as simple as just giving a first name and picking up a dress. But on top of that, and Nessa even says this, like, in her video, but surely, like, the Vanessa that did get the dress then takes the dress home and realizes, like, that's not mine. I mean, even if the style of the dress looks very similar, I would assume with, like, how specific, like, measurements are on something like a wedding dress, you would realize, like, oh, it doesn't really, like, fit correctly, right? Unless somehow they just have the same, like, very specific, like, measurements that you would need for a wedding dress. But it just seems like, to me, there's a lot of variables where, even if this situation did happen, the person who did receive the dress would then, like, return it to get their own dress. But that doesn't happen in this situation, and as you can imagine, Nessa says that she starts, like, panicking, and even, like, the worker starts panicking about what's going on here.
I didn't pick up your dress, and I was like, no, I did not pick up my dress. I was like, that's why I'm calling. And she was like, wait a minute, but it looks like she might have fixed it and it should be good. It should be in the back. Let me go see if it's in the back and see if I can find it, and then I'll let you know. And I was like, well, wait a minute, because now I'm starting to, like, think, well, what the fuck is that? Like, what the heck is that supposed to mean?
Now, this first video, I believe, was uploaded on the day of all of this happening, right? Like, the day where she's speaking on the phone, being like, where's the dress? Finds out it's been given to someone else. This video was recorded on the same day. Now, Megan tells Nessa that she's gonna try and sort it, she's gonna bring her back, and as Nessa goes on to say in this video, like, at the time of recording this, which is later than she was told, she still hasn't heard anything back.
We hang up. That was at 3:55. It's currently 7:27. It's been 30 minutes since I've tried calling them for an update because Google says they're open till 9. And everybody is like, this is ridiculous. They have to have an answer by now. It's already been 3 hours. Call them. So I called them at 7 on the dot. I thought they blocked my number. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. So I called again. I called 4 times off my phone, and it would, like, do a half ring and then just hang up on me.
Yeah, so Nessa goes on further to explain that she actually tried ringing on, like, multiple phones, like her partner's phone, and I think it was, like, a sister's phone as well, and it just kept going to, like, voicemail, right? So it wasn't like that specific number was blocked, just, like, the call lines were down for some reason. I'm not sure if that's just a crazy coincidence, right? Because it seems like a bit of an extreme measure to, like, remove, like, your whole phone line because of this one situation. Especially if it's not a specific number for that specific store. I mean, it might be, but as we heard earlier, like, there's a lot of stores around the United States, a lot of stores in Canada as well, but there's a lot of stores, right? So usually you would think there'd be, like, one number for the company, and then you would say, like, which store you are trying to reach. But that might not be the case in this situation, right? It might be a specific number. But Nessa did upload a second video, like, trying to ring the store and showing what happens when she does.
Did they just hang up on me? They block you?
Yeah, so same again. I mean, she keeps going to the, like, the number pad on the call, which makes me think that it is, like, a number for a bunch of stores, right? Because then you'd be like, press 1 to speak to so-and-so, press 2 for so-and-so, and whatnot. So I think it would be, like, a wider number. It might just be a big coincidence. For some reason, the calls just weren't going through. But the people in the comments of these videos definitely had strong opinions on the situation, right? I mean, the top comment in this video, it says, call the cops. If it's under 5K, you gotta do small claims, though. David's Bridal is the worst. I mean, another comment here says, I work there, they would unplug a phone if a customer was making a complaint or causing them to actually look for the dress. I'm sorry, boo, gotta go in. I mean, there's a comment here with about 15,000 likes that says, girl, just give us a number, we'll call for you. To the best of my knowledge, Nessa doesn't do this, but that kind of does come up a little bit later on. And then a lot of people are commenting this video saying stuff like this, saying, girl, go there. A lot of people are saying, like, stop trying to ring, just go to the store. Obviously, Nessa's response to that is it's like a 2-hour drive. It's not exactly a store that's down the road, so that's why she didn't do that originally. Now, in the third video, this is where we hear Nessa talking about, like, her viewers or people who are watching the video actually contacting the store, and she's been told by the store or been, like, asked by the store, like, what is going on here? Like, why are we getting so many calls?
Please stop calling David's Bridal, because they've already called me asking why people are calling them. And I'm assuming it's you guys off TikTok. Like I said, I appreciate you guys trying to, like, help me go to war for this type of stuff. 100% love you guys for that. But let's not make this worse. Okay.
And then this is where we hear some further updates. So Nessa says that it gets to about 15 minutes before close, and she tries ringing again, and she finally gets through when she gets to speak to a manager. Nessa does say that she believes that the manager was called in specifically for this reason, like for the situation. But the issue here is that it seems like the story has actually changed as to what's happened.
I called immediately as soon as we got through, and I was able to speak to a manager, I think it was, like some type of manager. They got called in. I'm gonna say it was like a general manager, maybe district manager. I don't know. From my understanding, this person was called in because of the situation with my dress. So she's like going through the whole situation of letting me know that, you know, the other manager, the store manager, is going to call me the following morning, which would be today. And they would go in more detail on how they were going to compensate me and fix this. And either way, we had to order another dress because my dress is not in the store. And the story was first with this person was it never arrived. And I was like, wait a minute, I spoke to so-and-so on Saturday and she was tracking it via UPS and said it would be in on Monday. When I called yesterday, she said that it was already picked up on Wednesday and it was not there no more. And it was saying in the system checked out because the new girl was the one that did this mess up, and now you're telling me it never even arrived?
Yeah, so as you can see, the story's changed, right? We're now hearing from the manager that the dress just hasn't arrived yet, but we heard from, like, a different worker that it did arrive and someone just give it to somebody else. Now, to me, hearing that, the more believable story does sound like the first one, right? That it has been given to somebody else. Because I'm not sure why you would say that if it said on the system that the dress just hasn't arrived. And it pretty much gets confirmed that that first story is the true story in just a second, right? So what Megan said was the true story. And obviously, as I said earlier, Megan becomes a big part of this. I kind of already said, right? She no longer works at the store. And this became like a big question, like, was she fired? Did she quit? Did she get fired because of this situation, because she told too much? And we'll get into that a bit more later when we hear some more information. But first of all, we hear Nessa say that they pretty much confirmed that the first story was the true story.
And she's like, yeah, actually, yeah, the other bride has your dress. What do you mean? Like, has she not noticed this? Has she not figured out, like, oh, shit, like, this ain't my dress? Like,
yeah, so that's a bit that confuses me the most. Like, how is this bride who's got the wrong dress not said anything, right? Unless she's received this dress and thought, fuck that, I mean, that's better than the one I ordered, I may as well keep it. Now, the original solution to this situation was that they were going to reorder the dress, but this would put it back a month. She wouldn't receive the dress until the end of April. Then you've got to do, like, alterations to the dress. There's, like, this 16-week period to be able to do that. Basically, scheduling-wise, this puts Vanessa in a pretty shitty situation.
Either way, she said it is not in the building and we have to order a new one, and it wasn't going to be able to be here until like the end of April. And I'm like, that throws my timeline off for alterations. Like, that really slims my timeline. Can we make it work? Yes, but it slims my timeline. So anyways.
So to me, if this situation didn't become like more viral over the next few days, it seems like this was going to be the solution that they were going to go with. And luckily in this situation specifically, Vanessa says like, okay, we could technically make it work. I guess she ordered the dress like enough in advance, which says it's going to be tight. But I'm just thinking, surely if you cause a situation like this, right, which a store have, it's their fault they've admitted this, right? Surely you're doing everything you can to speed up the process. I mean, spoiler again, later on in the situation, once the situation has went so viral, we find out that it is very possible for them to speed up the process of getting this new dress sorted. So I'm just thinking, like, why couldn't they have done that originally when it was a situation they caused? But now let's get into this Megan stuff, right? Because this is where Nessa is now told that the person she was speaking to on the phone, Megan, no longer works there.
Apparently, Megan, the girl that I talked about in a couple videos ago, she was like, she no longer works here. What do you mean she no longer works here? I don't know if she got fired or if she quit or what happened. She just, I finally got a hold of them right before they were going to close at 9:40 or 8:45 at night. And earlier during the day at 3:45, I was talking to Megan. So from 3:45 to 8:45, she either quit or got fired. I don't know what happened. And I'm like, this is just great. Like, the person that was like handling this and giving me the most information out of everybody, instead of like gaslighting me like the other people that I had been talking to, was the only one giving me the information. My maid of honor was like, well, maybe she like relayed too much information to you that she wasn't supposed to tell you, and then relayed that to the manager, and the manager got upset. Maybe it caused like a big old fight or something like that.
Yeah, so you can hear this theory that Nessa does mention like a couple of times, right? Like, I mean, she's saying it's coming from a maid of honor, but she then does repeat it like a few times throughout these videos that maybe it's because she gave too much information, right? She didn't go ahead with this like fake story that the dress just hasn't arrived yet and tried giving them time to solve it. I'll be honest, when I first heard this situation, and by the way, what I'm about to say is based on zero fact. I am just assuming here. I know no more than anybody else about the situation, obviously. But when I was first, like, listening to the situation, I assumed that maybe there's a possibility Megan, even though she said it was, like, a new girl give the dress to somebody else, maybe it was Megan who gave the dress to somebody else. And then, obviously, the store has found out that it was Megan who did this, and maybe she was fired for that reason. I mean, there's some other theories in the comments, right? I mean, someone's actually said, here, Megan has your dress, I'll bet on it. So I guess they believe Megan thought, oh, that's a nice dress, I'm just gonna take that and leave my job. That seems like not very believable to me at all, to be honest. I mean, that would make the situation a lot crazy. I think that's fair to say. There's some other theories in the comments, like this one saying the dress arrived and they put it on the sales floor on accident. They sold it, called the other bride to see if she would return it, and she said no. I mean, that does seem a lot more believable to me, right? This dress arrives and they just thought it was for sale in the store and they end up selling it. I mean, that seems like that could happen. That would make sense why this other bride, apparently called Vanessa, didn't like receive a dress and think, shit, that's not the right dress, let me return that. We've got a comment here saying the other bride loved your dress and isn't giving it back, which I mean, I guess could be the case. But either way, we start getting more updates, and the further we actually get through this, when we look at the comments, there's even more comments talking about Megan's part in the story, which we will get to. But in the next video, it's a lot of the same. Nessa's still trying to contact them. It's very hard to get in touch with them. She tries ringing the store, tries to speak to the manager. She's told that the managers just went into a meeting, which seems like a bit of a coincidence, but definitely could be true. But then Nessa ends up like being on hold for 15-20 minutes. She finally gets to speak to a different manager. She's told that same lie as before, where apparently this dress just didn't arrive.
She comes back on and it's a different manager. Now, this isn't the store manager, this is the sales manager. So she talks to me and she basically, I guess, takes over and starts handling the situation. And I'm just like, listening to what she has to say. She's like, she's so sorry for the inconvenience, and she said that the store manager just filled her in on what was going on before she went into the meeting. I'm like, I'm sure she did, because I'm pretty sure you guys are very well known with what's going on right this very moment. Tried to pull the same thing on me that the general district manager pulled on me last night, saying that the dress never arrived. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, because everybody keeps giving me the go around.
Yeah, so Nessa then goes on to explain like this has happened multiple times now. Now, the rest of the conversation that we hear is very similar to what we heard before with the other manager, you know, just the classic, we're gonna try and get it sorted, we're gonna have to give you a ring back, that usual stuff. In the next video, we hear what David's Bridal's new solution to all of this is, which is basically just like a 30% discount.
I could do like 20%, and I was like, 20%? And she was like, and I could take 15% off of the dress. And I'm like, well, the dress is already paid in full. Why not just, I said, well, how much would you be taking off of the dress? And she's like, 15%. And I was like, well, why not put that 15% on top of the 20 of the alterations and make it 30? And she was just like, yeah, I guess I could do that. And I'm like, yeah, we are gonna do that.
But at this point, Nessa has uploaded so many videos on the situation, all of which are obviously showing her negative experience, and these videos are going viral. So as you can imagine, on David's Bridal's like social medias, all the comments are talking about this. We can take a look at the comments on one of the videos here. Like, we've got comments like this one saying there's something suspicious going on when a bride pays her dress in full, but then is blocked from calling your business, buyer beware. Another comment here saying give her the dress. Another comment here saying my heart is with her. It's already so stressful planning a wedding and looking for a dress. Imagine how excited she was to find one and paid for it. And now instead of ticking one of her boxes, and for some reason the comment just doesn't carry on. Maybe that's just something on the desktop version. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, you get the point, right? All the comments are stuff like this saying, give the girl her dress or give her a refund. So now this is where we hear the final solution to this situation, and it's one that Nessa is happy about. And there's actually multiple things here.
After going viral about David's Bridal losing my wedding dress, my videos obviously came across corporate's For You page, and they directly reached out to me. And they offered me a few things. Number one, they offered to overnight my dress, so it will be here this Wednesday, as in not tomorrow, but the next day, and I get to pick it up. Number two, they're going to be fully refunding my dress at 100%. And number three, they invited to fly me out for New York Bridal Fashion Week next week.
Okay, so a few things straight off the bat, right? I mean, first of all, I didn't even know that bridal fashion week was a thing, but fair enough. I'm assuming it's just like the regular fashion week that I have heard of, except it's wedding dresses, is that right? Let's have a look. New York Bridal Fashion Week is an industry event where designers and brands reveal their latest collections twice a year in October and in April to brides, retail buyers, and the media. Yeah, so it's pretty much what I said, I think. But also, sorry, I got sidetracked a bit there, didn't I? But also, as we're hearing, it's very possible that they could speed up the process, right? So it's just like, it begs a question, like, why wouldn't they do that in the first place with a situation that was their fault? They've admitted it was their fault, right? Obviously, we're just hearing it from Nessa's point of view here. There's not exactly like screenshots or call logs in this video, right? So we are just taking Nessa's word for it. But from everything we're hearing, it was clearly their fault. So it's just like, why does it take the video having to go viral on social media for you to solve the situation properly? Because it's very possible that, first of all, Nessa didn't make videos about this situation, but also she could have made videos and they didn't go viral, and then there was no solution like this. And also, if we're being honest here, it's brands doing stuff like this that's the reason why people make videos when situations like this happen, because it seems like 9 times out of 10, when a video goes viral talking about a situation like this, it does finally get solved. Now, looking at the comments in this video, like I said earlier, a lot of the comments are still about Megan. Can we get Megan her job back, David's Bridal? I feel like she lost her job trying to help. Ask the CEO for Megan's job back if she wants it. I hope Megan gets her job back and those managers face repercussions, plus free alterations for you. So yeah, a lot of people asking questions about Megan, right? Obviously, we don't really know the full story here, and there's a lot of different theories going around, but if she was fired just because she had told the truth originally with the situation, then obviously that is very unfair. But who knows what's happened here? I mean, Nessa has made an update video kind of like responding to these comments, and like Nessa doesn't really know what's going on either.
What's going on with Megan? At this point, I don't know what's going on with Megan, but the corporate contact that I've been in contact with this entire time, she basically said that they are investigating at a store level. So they're curious to know what happened with Megan. There is a lot of speculation in the comments about, was she the one that created this mess? Did she get fired? Did she quit? Did she put her 2 weeks in and it just so happened to be her last day was when this happened? We don't know. So corporate is definitely interested to see what happened.
Yeah, so like I said, there's a lot of unanswered questions, right? We don't really know what's happened, but that is kind of like the big topic at this point, right? The vast majority of the comments are talking about Megan and saying like, what's happened here? Was she actually just unfairly fired? But either way, it seems like we have came to an end of this situation in terms of Vanessa getting her dress. I mean, she doesn't have a dress yet, right? I guess she said Wednesday, which is today as I'm recording this. So it's good to see that the brand did do the right thing in the end, regardless if it took like a viral video or whatnot. But either way, I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below on everything that we spoke about in this situation. Oh, also, another thing, I haven't mentioned this on this channel for like God knows how long, but I thought I'd mention it now. Me and my girlfriend Emily have a YouTube channel that at the minute we're doing like a lot of gaming videos and reaction videos, like playing funny games and reacting to like reality shows or like other like TikTok related stuff as well. So if you're interested in that and you think that might be something you enjoy, the link is always down below in the description. Go over, give it a watch. You might enjoy it, you might not. Either way, if you do think that is something that might interest you, just thought I'd mention it in case you weren't aware. And yeah, like I said, the link is in the description. If you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like down below, subscribe if you're new, all that stuff. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, goodbye.